What's going on, my Astro family? Yes, we are having another event in the skies, and that is going to be our lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces that is happening on September 17th, 2024. And guys, get ready for dramatic endings, sudden new beginnings. The full moon is going to be revealing hidden truths. Things are going to be bubbling to the surface that has always been there, but it's just going to make itself known. We're going to have to make those major decisions and transformation with regards to what this energy is bringing us. So you can expect big shifts and changes within your relationship. I'm talking about dramatic changes and transformation through the process of self-discovery. With this particular lunar eclipse, get ready for major spiritual breakthroughs and some emotional growth. And the full moon eclipse that's happening in Pisces is going to set the stage for a brand new cycle of change and a new chapter in our life. So just to give you guys a background, full moons and eclipses reveal hidden truths. So full moons and lunar eclipses are about moments of culmination when things that have been brewing under the surface come forth into the spotlight. And these types of cosmic events, they bring clarity to situations that have been unclear or unresolved for some times. So you've been sweeping something under a rug, you just haven't had the energy to deal with it. Guess what? The energy is coming because the full moon is going to intensify those emotions related to those areas in your life that this full moon is affecting. And as the energy of the eclipse stirs up drama, particularly in the areas of life ruled by the house and the sign where the full moon falls in your chart, you're going to have heightened energy. And this heightened energy can lead to an intense internal crisis. And this often reveals the gaps or deficiencies where we are lacking in our lives and are just not happy with that lack. And this can be a perfect time to dive deep into what we emotionally will require to feel complete and those areas that are influenced heavily by the eclipse in our charts. So expect I have to warn you, a temporary cloud of uncertainty because this energy bursts forward and the energy is so potent that we have a surge of emotions that makes us just irrational, and we cannot be really contain and don't really know how to navigate the energy that's happening that's suddenly being activated by the eclipse. So one important thing to remember is that when the eclipses first happen, they tend to obscure or hide our vision temporarily because there's just too much going on. And so while we might feel a strong urge to act, it's better to just sit, chill, just chillax for a minute and let our inner wisdom guide us. That might be hard to do, but if you have this information, then you're prepared, and you should know, take a deep breath and just wait until the energy passes, get a hold of it before you make major moves or whatever. So full moons, they already amplify your emotions. And, when it's combined with an eclipse, the impact is 10 times as great, 10 times as more intense. And so that means your judgment is not in the best situation. Is not oriented for you to make those choices that affects your life. So you have to take a chill pill. So rather than just rushing to conclusions, you just gotta, press pause and allow the time to reflect and trust that clarity is going to come. Right. And so when the eclipses hit, patience is the key, because guess what? You're not the only one feeling this burst of emotion. Other people are feeling it too. So they might be acting a little strange towards you, and you're looking at them like, what the hell? Like, what is their problem? Know that they are being influenced, and, give them some grace before you act and you judge their actions, because they might not be getting this information. They might not know. Know that eclipses bring relationship shifts. Lunar eclipses often highlight relationship dynamics, so they trigger moments of realization about what we truly need from our connections, which can lead through breakthroughs and breakups and sudden connections. And sometimes these realizations involves, they do involve our partnerships, obviously, with others, but they often are, as they are about relationships. It's not only about the relationships with the people that we encounter maybe suddenly or even every other day, but they're also about our relationships to the subjects that are governed by the house that the eclipses affect within our chart. And so I'm going to speak generally about how they affect every sign specifically and in a very general manner. But if you want to know how it is going to affect you, you can always book a reading with me and we can, unpack how the eclipses will affect you. So moving on though, emotional intensity of these moments can lead to significant changes, obviously. And some relationships, they probably will end by the challenges that are called forth and unearthed and are surfacing because they can no longer stay under the surface. While others, relationships might be challenged to and gain strength and a newfound understanding of what mutual needs are so that the relationship can stand on even stronger ground after you address what is needed. So dramatic changes and transformations in relationships, and that's honestly through self-discovery, because the lunar eclipse, while it focuses on relationship dynamics, we also, you can't be in a relationship, well, you can be in a relationship by yourself, but and we all have a relationship to ourselves. But what I'm trying to say is that the lunar eclipse kind of forces us to go inward and look at the things that we are not content with, the things that our soul calls to transform so that we can live a better life. So as we go through the process of self-discovery, the relationships transform dramatically. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. And so during this period, relationships, they experience sudden challenges, breakthroughs and endings. Everything seems so intense and so magnified as emotions run high because of the surge from the lunar eclipse. And they give us an awareness of what we lack in our lives, and they push us into taking action to address those imbalances, and thus brings about the change and the transformation. So although the initial phase may feel chaotic or uncertain, that often leads to powerful revelations that can steer us toward a more meaningful path in life. And that is the point, guys. And so this series of lunar eclipses is going to start on the 17th of September, and they are going to stretch through 2027. So it's going to happen over a period of 2.5 years. And it is going to be in the sign in the Virgo Pisces axis in our charts. So the Virgo Pisces axis is activated, and this particular eclipse series is going to invite us to explore how well we are balancing the practical everyday aspects of our material lives with our spiritual and emotional needs. Because Virgo and Pisces, Virgo rules the 6th house, Pisces rules the 12th house. The 6th house is all about our everyday routines, our health needs, and the tools that we use to get through our material lives, while the 12th house is ruled by Pisces, and that's ruled by things that are hidden, things that are unseen, the spiritual realm, our connection to the divine, and God, our higher sense of self. Our higher sense of self, and our spiritual health and things like that. So Virgo's influence focuses on the tools and the ways that the methods we use to manage our daily routines, health, and the desire for to have our materials lives run the way we want it to. And under Virgo's energy, we become more aware of the imperfections, because Virgo is all about the meticulous detail. And so we can see through Virgo, or that the energy of Virgo helps us to see the flaws and imperfections more acutely when it is activated. So, and when this lunar eclipse is activated, you're going to see without a doubt what in your life is flawed and imperfect, and you're going to want to change that. And on the opposite end, Pisces governs, like I said, our spiritual lives. And this is emphasizing our connection to the divine, our intuition, and our emotional and spiritual health. And so what this is going to be, let me just continue on now. Well, Pisces energy also allows us to see the beauty in imperfection and chaos, while Virgo is like, no, we need order in the court. Okay, order in the court. So this eclipse is encouraging us to seek harmony between the material and the spiritual realms. That's what it's calling us to do. And so focusing too much on either end of the spectrum, whether living in chaos or becoming too, overly rigid, that's going to create that imbalance between that realm of the material world and the spiritual world. It's all about finding the balance there. And then as we move into this conversation with you guys, how our everyday lives with regards to the area that it's affecting in our chart, like how are we focusing there or not, to the point where it's giving or detracting from our spiritual needs, our spiritual, mental, and emotional health, right? That is what this eclipse is going to be, working with through us, right? It's going to ask us to find a sweet spot between spiritual fulfillment and our daily responsibilities. If you're too focused in your daily, but you're neglecting your spiritual health, that's a problem. You're going to find breakdown with regards to how those are affecting you. And we have a little bit of nuance here because we have the lunar eclipse is going to be connected to Neptune, which is aligned with the moon, and the influence of Neptune is going to add a layer of fantasy and idealism as it rules Pisces. So honestly, I think that it's going to have a layer of divine connection associated with it. So I think there's going to be like sudden revelations and sudden breakthroughs spiritually that you're going to have with regards to where these areas touch in your chart. And it's also aspecting Jupiter, and Jupiter's job is to expand or to exaggerate whatever it touches. So that's this energy is going to be on 10. It's going to be even heightened even further. And it's also being aspected by Uranus in a pretty desirable way. So I think the changes will come about somewhat easy. Okay. This lunar eclipse is also giving us spiritual insights. And like I said, I already said that, but spiritual insights, which is leading to emotional growth. So the events around the eclipse are likely to push us toward greater emotional understanding and spiritual connection from within. So we may realize that in order to feel fulfilled, we need to pay attention to our mental and emotional well-being. We got to let go of stress, and we got to become more passionate to ourselves. We have to learn self-compassion and towards others. And so at this time, we're also going to have to take a break, possibly from the daily grind, and focus on nurturing our spiritual needs, right? We can't be so wrapped up in the material that we're neglecting our spiritual needs. So this is going to allow for personal growth and deeper connections also to those around us. And maybe we're going to sever ties to those around us and our relationship to things in our environment that's not contributing to us spiritually, that we're just way too focused on in this material world. So, guys, this, like I said, cycle is going to bring about the beginning of a new journey. Okay. So this eclipse will set the tone for your life that's going to carry on until 2027. And it's all about how we navigate our material life and in a way that enriches us. And so although changes may feel big now, they're opening doors to new experiences and fresh perspectives and ultimately a better life. And so as we dive deeper into this lunar eclipse, let's talk about how it's going to affect your sign. So you can see how it's going to influence your path forward through the next 2.5 years through 2027. Let's get it, guys. Hey there, Aquarius. How are you? What does the lunar eclipse in Pisces that's happening on September 17th, 2024 have in store for you? I can tell you that it has major transformation, presenting big shifts, especially with regards to your finances, drama, major transformation, and it's for your highest good. So Aquarius, these eclipses are, well, first of all, the lunar eclipse in Pisces is happening in your second house. That's your house of your sense of personal security, how you earn money. These eclipses that are happening in Virgo and Pisces is happening on the axis of the second and the eighth house. So your resources, your partner's resources, or other people's resources, how you share resources, and things like that. That is having a major unfoldment over the next 2.5 years through 2027. So major changes with your money and possessions are front and center. And I think it's going to be for the best, Aquarius. So this lunar eclipse is bringing attention to your second house, which governs your income, your material wealth, and your personal belongings. You are definitely going to be experiencing unexpected shifts related to your financial stability or something significant regarding your possessions. It might feel like a huge crisis in the beginning, but it's shifting you to make those changes in your finances that helps you to become financially secure, right? Especially by the end of these eclipse series that's happening through by the end of 2027, over the next 2.5 years. So this eclipse is going to be showing you an unforeseen opportunity to earn money, or a project involving your resources that's coming to completion and is showing the results and the fruits of your labor and your efforts now. Be prepared for a sudden focus on how you manage your finances too, right? Sparking a need to make adjustments or reevaluate your spending and saving habits. That ain't bad. Okay. This period is going to be pushing you to balance your personal needs with your shared resources, asking you to consider how you handle what's yours versus what you share with others. And so, Aquarius, if you are giving too much, and you find that it's taking away from you spiritually, you're going to have to cut that out. What's happening over the next 2.5 years is not going to allow you to do it. If you're taking too much, right? Because we're talking about other people's resources, you're not going to be able to do it, and you're going to have to stand on your own 2 feet. There's going to be something that's unfolding over that axis of your resources and shared resources that's calling you to give balance, because you're spiritually out of bounds if you are taking too much from others. And you will be shown if you are, and you're going to be called to do the activities you need to do to shore up that gap in your spiritual health, as you're draining the resource from others. If you are giving too much and you are allowing people to take too much from you, which is draining you spiritually, you're sick of it. And you're not going to be able to move forward with that anymore. Something like that is presenting itself. You're getting the inklings. I mean, it's probably had a problem that's been buried underneath the surface for some time now, and it's being unearthed front and center. Let me just tell you, don't make any sudden moves right now, because you don't have all the information, and the energy around the eclipse is irrational. It's chaotic. And you might not be seeing things clearly. So if you try to make a move, if you try to change things in the middle of eclipse, it will backfire. It's not going to be for your highest good. You might have to go back and, revamp your whole plan or whatever. So just gather details, sit back, watch what's being presented at this time. And then when the energies die down, that's when you want to make your moves to make those changes with regards to whether or not you're giving too much or taking too much. Okay. Also, as the eclipse approaches, expect increased activity around financial matters, right? Just expect it. You might be required to settle a debt or to finalize a deal. You might feel conflicted about past choices, or have some concerns about how you've managed money in the past. And now is presenting you some opportunities for a fresh start to kind of redo that and get your money together. Right. Like I said, look at the opportunities that's being presented. You don't have all the information, so don't make any sudden moves. It's a great time to reassess how you handle. We talked about that, your money. So don't avoid rushing into big financial decisions. This is definitely a turning point, and things will be shifting bigly. You have big shifts, right, over the next 2.5 years, big shifts in your perspectives regarding money, and managing your assets and acquiring them. Just big shifts, right? I think a lot of big, for good. Whether that's related to your income, valuables, or personal talents, to your personal resources are being shifted in a major way. So a major revelation could surface, prompting you to pay close attention to your business and financial well-being. Long-term changes are to be had in your financial world, okay? This eclipse is definitely setting the stage for those shifts related to your finances. So if you're feeling restless and dissatisfied with your current financial situation, over the next 2.5 years, with the initial revelations being presented to you right now, through the eclipses is presenting, right? They're starting gradually, and it's going to afford you the opportunity to make those necessary changes. So over the next, you're going to undergo a huge transformation in how you even approach money, your material security, your personal sense of value as well, because that second house is tied to your self-worth. So I like this for you. The adjustments you begin making now, or like shortly after the eclipse energies dies down, is going to help you to create more stability and a healthier relationship within your relationship, or healthier relationship with your resources. This is a great time for that. You're going to have heightened emotions, and you're going to be able to reflect steadily on what's going on with your personal finances. Emotions are going to be super high during this time. Keep your cool. Your power is where you keep your cool, right? If you ever seen somebody who just is out of hand and they are just hot and they make a rash decision, they always look foolish, or they always come out on the losing end, because they just made a hasty decision with a hot head. That's not what you want to do, right? Your power is in the calm. Stay calm. Wait for the energies to die down before you make your move. Take your time to absorb new information and avoid making impulsive decisions and jump into conclusions. Eclipse energies can do that if we move too soon. So while things might feel unsettled for a while, just wait. You'll get clarity. This period is meant to help you bring more structure and reliability to your finances and your material life. Like I said, I love this for you. Issues surrounding money, control, and material belongings, they're going to come to a head, but it's all for your higher self, for your best good, right? And this is going to potentially lead to concerns over respect and boundary issues with on the yours and mine's axis, that second and eighth house axis. So stay patient and reflective, and be sure to have careful thought and understanding, as those will guide you through these changes just most effectively. Okay, Aquarius. And so don't be scared. Have courage. It's all good, and embrace the transformation that's encouraging. And if you got any value out of this conversation, Aquarius, do me a favor, connect with me, put in the comments, embracing transformation. That's how I know I reached you. And let me know how this energy is unfolding for you, because I definitely want to connect with y'all. And until next time, keep your hearts open and your spirits connected, Aquarius. Ciao for now.